In Chattanooga and other cities around the country, demonstrators are hitting the streets leading up to Martin Luther King Day. Good evening. I'm Josh Rowe.
And I'm Latricia Thomas. These demonstrators are part of the Black Lives Matter movement. In Boston today, over 20 demonstrators were arrested for blocking a major expressway. Several demonstrators on Interstate 93 had physically encased their arms in 1,200-pound barrels of concrete. Firefighters had to use saws to break open the barrels to free some of those marchers.
In Chattanooga, Concerned Citizens for Justice is also calling for resistance to violence.
NewsChannel 9's Brianna Arredondo explains.
On Monday, people around the nation will be celebrating the life of Dr. King, and it will also be a national day of action for civil rights activists. They say 2015 is the year for healing black communities.
We can't breathe, and we won't stop until freedom.
Today, members of Concerned Citizens for Justice are sending a message from Chattanooga City Hall. This as the nation gets ready to celebrate Martin Luther King Day.
And what we know is that closer to the end of his life, especially for those that have seen Selma, for people who have studied his work, we know that he was starting to put the dots together about all the different forms of state violence and how it impacts black lives, but everybody's life really.
They say they are joining a nationwide movement called Black Lives Matter. It started after the deadly shooting of teen Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri. The circumstances of his death sparked a firestorm on all sides, opening a nationwide conversation about what some call police violence.
In the last 5 months, we have stood united in a call for change in our system of policing and a new vision for black lives.
Historic moments seen here 50+ years ago ring true today for these members. The group say there's still a ways to go in civil rights.
Come celebrate the legacy, but use that as a jumping off point and continue the momentum that gets built over this weekend, and not just for this year, but until everybody gets free.
Activists say they will also use a social media hashtag on Monday for What Would MLK Do? A quick search of that hashtag on Twitter shows how some are getting ready for the celebration. I'm Brianna Arredondo for News Channel 9.
Back in October, Chattanooga police arrested 4 members of CCJ for inciting to riot and obstructing a highway. They were protesting what they called police brutality. Members say they are doing community service for the charges. They say they still plan to file a civil complaint against the city.
A representative from Memphis proposing a racial profiling prevention bill to the Tennessee legislature. If passed, it will require state and local law enforcement agencies, including university police departments, to adopt a written policy that prohibits racial profiling. Compliance would begin next year.